Well, good morning, everybody. Oh, yeah, big stretch for all of us. Welcome to our Coffee with Conti show. My name is Rick Conti. I'm glad you joined us right here on our Corvette channel. Boy, we have quite a topic for you today. If you had the opportunity to buy and have only one Corvette ever, what would it be? I'm going to pose that same question to you guys watching today. I want to remind you on the show, it was a few weeks ago, we shared the top 22 videos of our channel. And although I got this text from a 205 area code, it wasn't the #1 video, it was in the top 10. He says, Rick, I thought your April Fool's joke video was the best one.
I don't care if you roast me in the comments or not. I hope somebody laughed. I win.
If you remember all the tension and all the drama in April, waiting, anticipating Z06, so many unanswered questions. We did this video talking about 4 tiers to qualify just to have the right to buy a Z06. He goes, I played that same trick on my friend who had a Z06 ordered, and he almost called his dealership and canceled the order. That was a fun one for me. It was a great way to kind of relieve some stress and bring something that was quite plausible to the table. And people freaked out. They were calling me and said, hey, I qualify for this, but what do I do again? What do I do? I said, you finish watching the video. It was a great way to kind of blow off some steam. 1, 2, 3, go! I'm sorry. If you missed the April Fool's joke video, YouTube app folks will put a link up here for you, and down below in the description of today's video, there's another link. That's worth a watch. Just, 3-4 minutes, I think it was. It was a good time. Quite a conversation we're going to have today. Thank you for a lot of customers that actually posed that question to me. If I had a bag of cash, and I could buy only one Corvette, and that would be the only Corvette I would ever have, what car would that be? That's going to be a tough one, but it's a great conversation we're going to have on today's Coffee with Conti. And certainly a consideration if you're going to get only one Corvette, and that would be the only one you would ever have. You have to look at where it all started in 1953. This beautiful white convertible, red interior. Man, look how far we've come since the beginning of Corvette. And another car that would certainly be a choice and a consideration for me to have if it was the only Corvette I would ever have would be a 1963 split window. This is one of the cars that got away from me that I'll always regret not buying. I should have found a way to buy this. I had a guy who was going to trade one several years ago. It wasn't an original car. That was fine. It was clean. It looked great. It started, it drove, and ran fantastic. It was white with red interior as well. And boy, you want to talk about a classic. Yes, I regret not finding a way to buy that car. Another one that would certainly be on my list would either be a 1965, because that's the year I was born, or a 67. Would have to be a convertible, would have to be blue, and either with blue interior or white interior. Ooh, that's a nice one. I would jump ahead. Other cars I would consider if I had to buy only one Corvette, and that would be the only Corvette I would ever have. Looking at C5 would either be the 2004 commemorative Z06, that was, oh my gosh, that was a great looking car. What a fun car to drive. And of course, one of the cars I'd have to consider is a car I actually ordered and never got because life got in the way. I had this car ordered, a 2003 50th anniversary Corvette convertible, but the twins were on the way, so I got a Suburban. Here's a picture of the twins in the passenger seat, my oldest Brandon in the driver's seat. And you can't see it, but the kids were dressed up just like Dad, a Corvette catalog. Those are 50th anniversary sweatshirts there. I'll always regret not having that car. I love that car. Beautiful. I do have the Franklin Mint model, though, of that car. But another C5 that would be at the top of the list, yeah, you guys guessed it, the 98 Pace car. Here's one of my display cases. I have 2 shelves dedicated to the 98 Pace car. I've got the Franklin Mint. I have the Christmas ornament. I've got pins and keychains. Actually have some other nice collectibles up there. There's a media pass. There's an actual ticket never used at the Indy 500. I've got every scale of model for the 98 Pace car. And one day I'll actually have this car. And it's not like I've had opportunities to buy one. I just passed on one in 2010. I felt I don't know, I felt guilty buying that car at that time, and I wanted it so bad. A customer of mine, Sam in New York, had it, and he also had, look at this, he had the matching go-kart with the car. He waited till the last minute. He called me, says, Rick, if you're not going to buy it, I'm going to take it to Mecum. What do you want to do? And I said, no, I'm going to pass on the car. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I regret to this day, I'll always regret not buying that car. And of course, he got a heck of a lot more money out of Mecum than he would have out of me. But it's funny, just the couple of weeks ago, I think a couple of you guys text me, and there was another 98 pace car that ran through Mecum, and that was only 15 grand. I was so busy at work, I wasn't watching Mecum. I should have registered. I would have bought that car. I missed another one. Oh, man. Oh, and I know many people say, well, that 98 pace car, Rick, that was probably one of the ugliest Corvettes ever made. But you know what? It's wild and it's crazy, and that's me, man. So, yeah, that's still on my bucket list. But we're talking about on today's show, if you could buy and have only one Corvette ever, what would it be? I'm sharing with you some of my choices. Let's look at the C6 era and some of the considerations that I would have. I love the Grand Sports, but I'll tell you one car that I think never really got its just advertising and marketing praise. It's nowhere in the 2008 brochure, and that was the Will Cooksey 427 Special Edition. I love that beautiful crystal red Z06, special accents inside. Will's a great guy. What a great car to have. And there's so many people to this day that don't know what that car is because it wasn't well represented. It was kind of a last minute thing as Will was getting ready to retire. So when that car comes up in conversation, and most of those cars are actually still retained by the original owners because it is that special car. And if you were to have only one Corvette ever, that is certainly one to consider, but we have to tell the story of what that car is because so many people don't know. Open up your armrest. Look at the signature, the autograph there from Will Cooksey. That would be a strong consideration for me. But also in the C6 era, yeah, I think if I picked anything, it would either be Will's car or it would be a C6 ZR1. And for me, it would have to be Jetstream Blue. You know, the Blue Devil thing. That was just, what a fun car. What a historic car that really is. And if my son Ryan is watching, you guys know he would probably pick black for a ZR1. So let's jump into the C7 era. If you had a bag of cash and you could buy and have only one Corvette ever, what would it be? For C7, there was a lot of nice cars there too, and one that I think is one of the nicest special edition cars that Chevrolet has ever done is the 2018 Carbon 65 car. You guys know a lot of special edition cars are pretty much a lot of decal packages, very well done, but they're decal packages and they're not painted on. This car, it was the real McCoy. It was carbon fiber everywhere. Beautiful car. The introduction of ceramic gray, which is now going to be discontinued after 2023, by the way, but that ceramic gray set up so well with the carbon fiber. I'd have to have that competition seats. Oh yes, the blue calipers. That was a great car, and a lot of people still to this day don't realize because I don't think it was marketed as such or well enough to let you know that that car was the 65th anniversary for Corvette, the Carbon 65 car. But if I had to pick one car, and that would be the only car I would ever buy, C7, a strong consideration would have to be for ZR1. And I know the spec already. It would be Elkhart Lake Blue. Have to keep the blue calipers that came standard with that car. Sorry, guys, it would be a, Ricky's getting old. It would be an automatic. It would have the ZTK high wing, chrome wheels, blue stitching inside. Oh, yeah, that would be, oh man, that would be the car. If I was to buy only one Corvette, and that would be the only Corvette I would ever have. Yeah, 19 ZR1. Yeah, that would be, Well, we've made some great observations of Corvettes through the years. Out of all those, if I had to pick one, and that would be the only one I would ever own, which one do you think I picked? First, let me share something with you. I didn't have an opportunity to share his delivery just recently. A newer customer, but a great fan, a supporter of the channel, Michael from Florida, moved back to Ohio just got a C8 Z06, and actually the day that he picked up the car, it was kind of bad weather, and I really was kind of just out of it a little bit, but we had great conversation. And Michael had said something to me that really stuck with me, and I wanted to save it for this particular video. He says, Rick, in watching your channel, he goes, you've changed my outlook on Corvette ownership. And I said, what do you mean by that, man? He goes, well, I see all the stuff that you're doing with your car, you're driving it, the events and all that kind of stuff. And it made me realize that for me to have a Corvette, I always thought that I was going to sit around and just look at it and enjoy it, drive it on select days. He goes, watching your channel has made me realize that I need to get out. The way I'm going to enjoy the car is I need to get out there and drive it, experience it, drive it all I can. That's how I'm going to enjoy the car, not sitting and looking at it. I said, thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's exactly, the stop dreaming and start driving, keep driving is exactly the message we have on this channel. And if you think about it, a lot of those cars I mentioned, the 53s and the 60s, you would be afraid to drive those every day. It would just be difficult. That's the era that we're in. Do you want to sit around and look at that car and just look at it? You might as well have a bunch of die-cast models at that point. Exactly right, Michael. Great point. Thank you so much for your support, your friendship, and the business, and a great outlook on your Corvette ownership. All right, so for me, well, first let me pose the question to you guys and make a comment down below. What a great conversation today. Think about that for a second and how you would use that car. You could buy only one Corvette, and that would be the only Corvette you would ever have. What would it be? Leave a comment down below. For me, I've realized after all those cars I just shared with you that I am currently driving my dream car. Aww. Yeah, my C8. It's everything that I've ever wanted out of Corvette and then some. I've taken it to shows, we've taken it out of the track, we've taken it to trips, we've done fake jumps with it. I'm driving the car as much as I can. I'm making every day count. That is my dream car, and I'm so thankful. I'm so fortunate to have that opportunity to own the car, and to share it with you guys makes it even more special. Well, I'll always dream about the cars we talked about today and all the ones that got away, but really acknowledging the fact where I'm at right now in my life, having my dream car and driving it nearly every day, that's freaking awesome, man. It really is. Now, just if this cash was real. Hey, thanks for watching today. I appreciate the support of the channel. Continue to do that by subscribing, hitting the bell notification, thumbs up this particular video, and don't forget to make those comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. The other viewers love hearing from you guys. The engagement, the involvement on our channel, and the topics we bring on Corvette is so much fun. Thanks, you guys. I can't wait. Think about it before you make a comment. If you had only one Corvette that you could ever buy, and that would be the only Corvette you would ever own, what would it be and why? Thanks again for watching, guys.